What's going on, Lorain County High School football fans? We are back with another season of The Blitz here on WEOL and the Chronicle Telegram. I'm your host, Rocco Nushi, the one and only Kristen Bauer behind the camera as always. And here we are for another fun season of high school football. Week 1 in the books, week 2 coming up. But before we dive into some of the results and what's coming up ahead, you see it in my hands right here. Forecast magazine for the 2024 fall football season. Stop by WEOL, Chronicle Telegram, any one of our sponsors. A lot of places to pick this forecast magazine up. Make sure you pick one up. Schedules, team previews, everything you need to know about the upcoming season. Well, I guess the ongoing season, I should say, right here in this forecast magazine. So let's dive into what happened in week 1, and it was a good one at Cleveland Browns Stadium. It was Avon knocking off St. Ignatius 42-21 in a game that you heard on WEOL. This Avon Eagle defense is for real, folks. They held St. Ignatius to just 14 yards of offense on the Wildcats' first 3 drives. So very impressive stuff. They held off a late Wildcat push in the game. Avon's defense, they look for real. And offensively, we know what they're all about. Kent State commit quarterback Nolan Good. He had over 200 passing yards, 1 touchdown. He had a rushing touchdown in there as well. And, you know, people were worried about the running situation with Avon. What would they do without Jacorian Caffey? Well, it's simply reload and replenish for Mike Elder. He's got a number of guys that can pound the rock for his team. Tyler Kaufman, Keontae Smith, namely, had big games against St. Ignatius. Others are helping carry the load there, too. So Avon, they look for real, and we'll have more on them here in a bit. Lorain, they get their first win under first-year head coach James Boyas. They knock off Brush 40-25. Lorain, they were up 20-19 at the half in this one, nearly pitched a second-half shutout. Brush scored on the final play of the game, so really an overwhelming performance in that second half from the Titans. Iro Williams had a really huge night, 3 touchdowns, 148 receiving yards, 54 rushing yards as well, so a really nice night for the Titans all around. Speaking of first-year head coaches, Mike Rice and his Columbia Raiders pick up a Week 1 win at home over Independence, 41-20. The Raiders outscored the Blue Devils 28-7 in the second half. Jimmy Stoffi and Jose Rivera each had 2 rushing touchdowns for the Raiders. Elsewhere in Lorain County, there were 4 shutout victories for our local schools. Brookside shut out Brooklyn 26-0. Clearview handled Fairview 34-0. Vermilion took care of Margaretta 26-0. And North Ridgeville blanked North Olmsted 48-0. 6 rushing touchdowns for the Rangers in that win over North Olmsted. And finally, you got to give a shout out to the Keystone Wildcats. They knock off Northwestern in dominating fashion, 62-14. Wildcats defense did not allow a touchdown. All of Northwestern's points came off of special teams, and this was the return of Zach Shackelford. It was really great to see him. Missed pretty much all of last year with a nasty leg injury, so great to see him back out there on the gridiron. He was huge in the win over Northwestern. And how about that rushing attack for Don Griswold's Wildcats? 426 total rushing yards for Keystone in that win over Northwestern. A huge win for the Wildcats. So there were some of the highlights from Week 1. What the heck's going to happen here in Week 2? Well, I'll tell you, on the radio and Stream 1 at WEOL.com. We'll be at Avon as they welcome in Canton McKinley in a rematch from last year. This should be a good game. So Avon and McKinley Friday on WEOL. On Stream 2, it's the Stillman Cup, one of my favorite times of the year, one of my favorite games of the year on the football schedule. The Stillman Cup, Vermilion at Firelands. That should be a lot of fun. That's our Stream 2 game this week. And our Medina County matchup on Stream 3, it'll be Keystone at Cloverleaf. And then we have a Saturday afternoon game as well on WEOL, Lorain at Elyria. This Saturday, 1 o'clock on WEOL. That should be a lot of fun. Make sure you tune into that one. And some other matchups to keep an eye on here this week. Lakewood at Clearview. This was a shootout last year that Lakewood just squeaked by in. So Clearview looking for better results this time around. Benedictine will go to Avon Lake. So the Shoremen looking to take out a big bad private school. We'll see if Avon Lake's able to do so. And then Amherst at Buckeye. You know, Tom Thome's Comets have been playing real good football since he took over the program. They lost to Buckeye in Week 2 last year in a real good ball game, so his Comets are looking for some payback this time around. So there's some things to look out for here in Week 2 on the Lorain County High School football scene. Should be a lot of fun as the season gets into full swing. So that'll do it for us this week. For Kristen Bauer behind the camera, I'm your host, Rocco Nushi, saying thank you for watching another episode of The Blitz. We'll see you guys next week.